Has wolf and wit to cause him fright, yet fights with wit as sharp as sword, and stands a cool by day and night. Hey, hey, Vicky, hey, Vicky, hey, you Vikings true and bold. Hey, hey, Vicky, a Viking lad, just why your nets for gold. Sail set fast, wolf and blue as young Vicky. Hey!
Well, is your army ready for the battle? Ready anytime you are. Hey, hey, hey! This time we're gonna beat you. Hey, 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 hey! Not with Vicky on your side. He's too small. Ready? Charge! Charge!
Listen, can you hear that music? It's a flute. Oh, isn't it pretty? Hey, look, someone's coming.
Oh, good morning. I was wondering if one of you lovely children could help me out.
We might, but what exactly do you want?
I would simply like you to accompany me to the house of the chief of Flake village. His name's Halvar, I believe, and I promise to give whoever does so a lovely present as a reward.
All right, follow me then. I'll show you the way. Come on.
No, I'll show him the way.
We'll all go.
We'll all go.
Come
yes.
on, let's all go.
Come on.
Come on.
I'm gonna get the present. I'm gonna get the present. I'm gonna get the present.
That's what you think.
That's what you think.
We're gonna get the present.
Oh.
Here we are.
This is Halvar's house.
This is where Halvar lives.
He's my father.
Come on.
Thank you very much, children. And here's the present I promised.
Oh, it's mine.
No, it's not. It's mine.
Hey, don't let them take it away from you, Vicky. Fight for it. Show them how the chief's son can fight. Go on, the family reputation's at stake. Oh, Vicky, get up and fight, you hear? You can't surrender. Do you realize that you're my son?
Why, of course I realize that, Father.
Ah, you're nothing but a weakling. You don't know how to defend yourself. You lose every fight you're in. Now, if I'd been out there, I'd have shown them who was boss.
Father,
They
Father,
wouldn't
are
have
you
it.
forgetting you have a guest? This gentleman wants to talk to you.
I am pleased and honored to make the acquaintance of Halvar, the renowned and courageous leader of Flake village. I have come from far, far away, from a village up north. My name is Swindler. I come from a long line of swindlers.
Your name is Swindler?
Yes, that's right. Oh, madame, it's rare to come across such beauty as yours. Your husband is truly fortunate. Feasting one's eyes on you is a great pleasure. I had heard about your beauty, but words cannot express it. My respects, fairest to the fair.
Oh, darling, where are your manners? You mustn't leave the gentleman standing out here. Invite him into the house.
Yes, of course. But first, I would like to know why he's come.
That's terribly impolite, Halvar.
He says his name's Swindler. Have you ever heard such a name?
Please, Mr. Swindler, come inside. You must be quite exhausted from your long voyage.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Your beauty, madame, is equalled only by your generosity. Oh! Please, you must forgive my clumsiness. It must be the fatigue of the voyage. I'll pick them up in no time. Oh, I'm so sorry to keep you waiting.
Would you like a second helping, Mr. Swindler?
Oh, your cooking is divine, and I would love to have another serving, only I'm afraid I'd explode if I do, madame.
I couldn't eat any more either. So why don't you show us those nice things you brought?
Halvar.
That's perfectly all right. I would be only too happy to, but I would much prefer showing them to all the men and women of the village. At the same time, tomorrow perhaps. Is that possible? In the village square, if you like.
Why, of course it's possible, Mr. Swindler. I think it's a wonderful idea.
I'm so glad you agree with me, madame. I look forward to meeting the good people
Don't
of
you
Flake.
think it's only natural to give the chief of the village a little sneak preview? Oh!
He has a tendency to talk before he thinks. Don't pay any attention to him.
In any event, everything I have with me is almost yours, since I have the firm intention of giving them all to the people of Flake as gifts.
You're giving them all away to us.
Free?
That's what I said. Everything is yours.
Did you hear that?
Yes, but why?
It's a very complicated question to answer. Think of the saying, it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Yes, it's a lovely sentiment. The Vikings say it all the time.
I was certain that a woman of your intelligence and generosity would immediately understand the purpose of my gesture. Time to go.
We'll see you tomorrow. And thank you for your visit.
Oh, no, it's for me to thank you for your hospitality, madame. And please remember me to the people of Flake, would you?
Yes, I will, Mr. Swindler. And I'm sure all the men and women will be delighted to meet you.
Thanks for the food.
Until tomorrow, then. Goodbye, goodbye.
Bye!
And don't forget to bring everything with you.
Goodbye.
Oh, what a man.
You needn't scare me like that, you beast. Well, I guess it's worth one night's discomfort in exchange for what I'm going to clean up tomorrow.
I see him coming.
Everyone was so anxious to meet you that we were all here at sunrise.
Well, I'm indeed terribly sorry to have kept you waiting, my dear friends, but I'm sure you'll find what I have for you worth waiting for. Why don't we begin immediately? First of all, you ladies, tell me what you think of these little items.
Our husbands never brought us back anything as nice.
I wonder if he's got a matching bracelet.
He may play the flute, but I would love to get my hands on that lute.
I see so many things I'd like to have. What do you think is in that little leather pouch over there?
I'll bet you it's beer. People from the north are known for their beer.
And that axe is much nicer than Halvar's.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I proceed with the distribution of these gifts, as I promised you, may I say that my people in the north send you their warmest greetings.
That's very nice, but can we get on with the distribution of the gifts now?
Yes, all right. I know you're all very anxious to begin. Everything you see here in front of me is for you and you alone. But since you have given me such a warm, hospitable welcome, I feel that I must give each of you one present. The problem is I only have 17. And therefore, I propose that we all play a little game, and each time one of you wins, you would receive one of these lovely objects. It's such a simple game that even a child could play it and win, I assure you. Well, shall we begin playing, my dear friends? Is there anyone who would like to go first? Now, there's an old northern tradition that requires each person who plays to pay a fee of 1 gold coin. Just one. It sounds like a lot, but if you win, your coin is returned to you along with the object of your choice, and you're all bound to win.
There, let me be the first to go.
And so the game began. But first, Swindler produced a worthless, empty black box. Worthless, yes, but very important to the game, as we shall soon see. Now, each player, in turn, had to take 1, 2, or 3 objects out of the pile. But no more than 3. The object of the game was not to be stuck with the black box at the end. The player who had nothing left to take except the box was declared the loser.
Go on. I've chosen. It's your turn, Halvar.
Yes, I know.
Go on. It's your turn again.
Yes, all right. There's nothing left except...
And the rules state you've got to take at least 1 item. Oh, I'm terribly sorry about that. It certainly looks as if you've lost.
Would you mind putting everything back, Chief? I'm going to try my luck. Please.
Oh, by the way, my friend, you haven't forgotten the entry fee of a gold coin.
Huh?
Chief, that other coin, the one I lent you, may I have it back, please? There you are, Swindler. Halvar always pays his debts on time. Besides, there are plenty more where that came from, right, Chief?
You may start.
Yes, I intend to. And I'll take this and this and this.
Please continue.
I will. I'll take this and that's all. What do you say now?
Very clever. Your turn again.
I'll take this and this and this. Your turn to play now.
Go ahead.
This and this. Time for you to go again.
You may go.
Oh.
You lose. You did as poorly as your chief. There was a moment when I thought you'd win, but too bad.
I just had a bit of bad luck. It can happen to anybody.
Let me try.
I want to play again. You haven't any more.
No, he's within his rights. Let him play one more time.
And one after another, the Vikings played against Mr. Swindler. And true to his name, one after another, the Vikings were swindled. No matter how they played, they always ended up with the black box.
You lose. Your turn.
La la la. Tra la la la.
Go on.
Have I got to take the black box, eh? I don't want it.
Oh, you cannot imagine how sorry I am, my dear friends. Perhaps you'll be luckier next time.
Huh?
You told me to take the necklace, didn't you?
Yes, but how in the world was I to know that you'd lose the game?
I played the game as well as anyone. I just didn't have any luck.
Brains, Halvar, not luck. But that isn't surprising.
It's got nothing to do with intelligence. It was you that was so impressed by this swindler's talk. Oh, you're so lovely, madame. You love listening to him praise you to the skies, didn't you? You couldn't resist it. I never trusted the man for a minute over.
That's because you lost. If you had won, you wouldn't have had a word to say against him. The fact remains that you wanted to be the first to play and you lost a gold coin.
Enough of that, woman! The man obviously cheated. I know he did.
As long as I've known you, you've always been the same. Be grateful it's only a coin. I remember when you lost an eye over a silly thing like a fish hook.
Oh, must I hear that story again? I've heard it 100 times already.
Well, 101st time won't do you any harm. A silly argument over whose fishhook it was, and you lost an eye.
It wasn't silly. That fishhook was mine. I picked it up first, and so it belonged to me. What he picked up was the line it was attached to. It was a question of principle.
If you had both agreed to toss a coin for it, as children do, then you might not be half blind today.
How could I let him get away with it? All my men were standing round watching.
I see. So your pride is worth more than your eye, is that it?
I still have another eye to see with, but my opponent only had one nose, and you should have seen it when I was done.
You've forgotten what you looked like with no clothes on and no shoes.
He ran away with all my belongings, the thief.
That's true. He took your clothes, your shoes, he blinded you in one eye, and of course he managed to get the fishhook as well. And so, today's loss is almost a victory compared to that.
I don't want to hear another word out of you, woman. Do you hear me?
Oh, you poor thing. Your pride is hurt.
I'm warning you. One more word, Halvar, and I've had enough. I refuse to stay in this house another minute. I'd rather be with my men than here.
Oh! Are you all right, Vicky?
Yes. I hate it when you shout.
Your father's right about one thing. We were tricked. But how?
I know. I got it. I'm sure I can beat him.
Do you really think you can?
Yes, now that I've figured out how he won.
And have you already thought up a plan?
I'm going to beat him at his own game.
What? With a flute?
Oh, they'll see me.
Oh, there you are. I bet I know why you're out here crab fishing, Halvar. Your wife's thrown you out of the house because you lost and you're starved.
My wife thrown me out? I was out for a stroll. Crab fishing, well, that's ridiculous.
And who made that fire over there?
Oh, I was cold. And do you mind telling me what you're doing here, Jury?
I was crab fishing. You see, my wife threw me out too because I lost, and we aren't the only ones. Look over there, Halvar.
So, you all had fights with your wives, as I did.
We all played and we all lost. Our wives like nice things, that we know, but they don't like the idea of losing gold coins. We must do something about this.
Do you have any bright ideas?
We cannot permit this swindler to leave town with our gold. He's bound to spread the story of how he tricked us, and everyone will think that the men of Flake are idiots.
Yes, go on.
I've thought of a way we can save our reputations and our money. I've discussed it with the others, and they all agree, right? We send Swindler off with a friendly farewell, showing him how we believe in fair play. Then a few hours later, we ambush him and take our gold back.
Go on.
Of course, it goes without saying that once we get our gold back, we'll get our wives back. And don't forget, we'll also get all of Swindler's things. You can have that sword you wanted so much.
That's a miserable idea! You imbecile! How dare you even think of calling such an idea clever? It's cowardly and unworthy of a Viking. A Viking doesn't pretend to believe in fair play, he practices it. Take that! And the rest of you, take that for agreeing with him. Vicky's the only one who comes up with ideas.
Yoo-hoo, Uncle Halvar. I have an important message for you. Vicky's playing the game with Mr. Swindler.
Are you sure? Did you see him, Gilby?
Yes, and he said that he was absolutely certain he could win the gold back.
Really? And if my son Vicky says he can win it back, you can bet that he can. We're saved, men!
Go ahead.
Your turn.
Go on.
Time for you to go again.
Oh. What's this flute doing here?
Come on, what are you waiting for? You've lost again, Mr. Swindler.
All right, let's play once more. How can I possibly lose to a little child? There.
But Swindler's luck had run out. The poor man not only lost all the gold coins he had swindled, but all of his precious goods as well.
I lost!
But Vicky decided to give Swindler back all his belongings. The important thing was getting the gold coins back that he had swindled.
You were so kind to give me my things back. I want to give you a present. What would you like?
Will you give me your flute, Mr. Swindler? I can't seem to find mine.
How can Vicky let him leave with everything except his flute?
Keep quiet.
Ah, well, you certainly taught me a lesson, little one.
Goodbye. Have a good trip up north, Mr. Swindler.
Goodbye, my little one. Goodbye and the best of luck.
Bye-bye.
We can still ambush him, Chief, and take all his things with no problem. We just... Bye.
Naturally, everyone in Flake Village was very anxious to learn how Vicky managed to beat Swindler. And Jure, as you might have already guessed, was the most anxious of all.
First, you must do this, then this, and then you've got to make sure to do this. Does everyone understand?
Hey, Jura.
And you always have to count all the objects that haven't been taken. That way, you can't possibly lose. If you count, then you can decide whether to take 1 or 2 or 3 things. It all depends on how many your opponent takes and how many things are left. So if there's an even number, you do one thing. If there's an odd number, you do another.
He's right. You can't lose that way.
Why didn't we think of that before?
See now.
All right, let's try it once again. Watch how I do it, and then each of you can have a go at it. If you have any problems, I'll help you. But I'm sure you've got the hang of it now.
Vicky! Vicky! Hurry up! We're waiting for you. We're going to play Vikings.
All right, I'm coming.
Oh, no.
Where's your sword and shield?
I left them in the woods. Let's go and get them.
All right, I'll begin, huh?
Move over and let me try. I know how.
From morning to evening, for 5 days, the men gathered in the town square to play. And for 5 days, no one was able to win. I suppose it will remain Vicky's and Swindler's secret.